Good morning. Marc Ostwald from ADM ISI with a look at the week ahead. A primary point of focus, quite obviously, for the week ahead, apart from it being quarter end, so we will start to see markets be influenced by quarter end flows and rebalancing where necessary, is going to be the G20 meeting that takes place in Japan. We will be looking above all at the meeting between President Xi of China and President Trump. But there are also a number of other bilateral meetings, the one between President Trump and President Erdogan, with all the tensions there, and also with Mr. Putin. But be that as it may, the statistical schedule has a fairly typical feel to it. So there are a lot of surveys to start the week, including Germany's IFO business climate, and indeed the US consumer confidence number, which will be watched very, very closely. Particularly if it holds up relatively well in terms of the employment component. It might cast some doubt on those weak payrolls numbers that we had at the start of the month. Heading into the end of the week, we'll have a slightly busier flow of actual data, of official data. These include the usual rush of data from Japan, including industrial production, retail sales, and CPI. In the US, we'll have durable goods orders, which are expected to be roughly flat, so still indicating manufacturing sector is not exactly doing too well, or business capex is not going to be making a big contribution to Q2 GDP. And we have, at the end of the week, personal income and personal consumption and expenditure, which by contrast should actually highlight that personal consumption should give a fairly big boost to US GDP in Q2. Otherwise, during the week, there are a number of home sales data, and there are no major central banks meetings next week, but we do have a lot of Fed speakers, and we'll be looking very closely at them to hear what they actually have to say following on from this week's very dovish message from the Fed. And we'll also be looking at the political developments. Obviously, here in the UK, we are going to start see the voting at a party level, party membership level for the new Conservative Party leader, and obviously the problems that there are in Italy with the budget and the tensions with the EU. At the end of the week, there is also another EU meeting to try and decide who's going to be the next EU Commission president and indeed the next ECB president. And that's it for this week.